back to Tanjong Pagar United Fan TV. We're here with the pre-game show for Tanjong Pagar United at home at the Jurong East Stadium against Brunei DPMM. Just like our finished club, this season is about to finish as well. I'm here with Liushan and Ollie. My first question, what does this game actually mean? Like, more than just the points or, finishing 7th if we end up winning. What does this game mean long term or even short term?
I think for this game alone, I think it's been fair to say a pretty dismal season for us all round.
Yeah.
Regardless of what happens against Brunei, we're already going to finish. Fair to say, but we're going to finish with less than a point per game, regardless of what happens, even if we win. The truth is, if we do win, we won't finish second last, 8th. If we win, we can finish 7th, and that might be a bit of like happiness, like at the end of a bad season.
And to be fully honest, finishing 8th only in front of Young Lions, it feels like finishing last anyways.
No, definitely.
Here's the thing, yeah. Screw this season. There's no good outcome from this season now. It's 7th or 8th. And if you remember, like back in the day, like 2014, I remember when like Jason Morava like dismantled our Finnish football club, and we finished 8th that season as well. Granted, there were more teams. Granted, there were more teams then, but that isn't exact. I don't exactly remember it because I was 8th back then. That's also the place we're finishing this season.
If we know.
But it's a bad season. Asun Jailani either get together or just get out. And honestly, this season though, we need to look, obviously maybe the cup, but also just like how do we get it together for next season?
Now,
because
something I was hinting at, if we do end up losing, will this be Jailani's last game at the club, or do you think that Tanjong Pagar don't have the resources to go out and hire someone else? What do you think?
I mean, if there is any time to sack a manager, it would be 4 games ago, because at least we have a test period for next season.
And we have the Singapore Cup coming in 2 weeks or less or something.
Yeah.
So
maybe that's the test season, but again, those games you get knocked out. You get play Tyson Fury, but you get it.
Yeah.
And I don't know. I feel like personally, I think the sacking window is over. But if they do sack it, I don't see who we can bring in immediately. It have to be like a local coach.
Well, of course, but it's already a local coach. We're not going to find any international talent or coaches to bring in, but we just have to find someone that's more open-minded in the way we play, and that stops sticking to the same tactics all the time.
They need some experience under their belt.
I know.
But we saw.
But even if we can't get that, we still need someone with a different philosophy.
Jailani has the interim manager for half a season at Gaylord.
Yeah.
That's all the experience he has.
I mean, who else were we going to hire realistically? Now, let me ask everyone now. Predictions for the game. Ollie.
I'd like to hope we could end the season on a high, but having said that, we know what we are as a team. It wouldn't surprise me if we go and even get completely destroyed even. Brunei obviously have beaten us twice already this season.
Although, remember that controversial game, the referee?
Yeah, I do remember. It was February, March.
Lion City still, it's a 3-2. I wrote completely. I mean,
I guess we can talk about the referees.
Again, the league holds so much power. They don't have to do anything about the referees, but they should. They should. Because who is that?
I will say, I want to merit the SPL or the Football Association of Singapore FAS for, I think they did a referee training course earlier in the season, so they could just I remember I saw it on Instagram and a lot of people were happy about that. Now I don't know if it's actually working, but the initiatives they're taking, they know that their referees aren't good.
Who was that? I think Lestini or someone just did a karate move on one of our players. You thought it was our player that got a yellow card, but the reality is that whoever's done that should have gone to the red because that's aggressive behavior.
Well, it depends how aggressive it is.
Yeah, he did a karate move.
Did he get the ball? I don't know.
There wasn't the ball. He did a karate move onto the knee.
Well, I guess this is football, not American football. Ollie, so what's your actual prediction for the game in terms of score?
Maybe just to be a bit optimistic, I'm gonna say 2-1 to us. I'm almost certain we're gonna concede at least once.
Yeah.
Maybe wouldn't even surprise me if we go 2-0 down. We've seen previous games recently, against LCS where we lost 3-2 actually. The game where we lost 3-2 to Albrecht And the one where we drew 3-3 with Hogang, yes.
Oh yeah, that was our most recent game, of course. But it was almost a month ago, anyways.
But yeah, I've seen it. We keep going. Like I said it in the post-match interview against Hogang after the 3-3. Although we scored late on, we keep it. It takes us like 2 goals already for us to go 2-0 down. That's when we usually start playing better. We just sit back a little bit too much in the first few minutes. That's a big problem that we need to fix.
Yeah, Ollie, that's exactly it. And you know what? We play so defensively. We never have any offense, and we only get into it at the end of the game, as you said. That we have 5 at the back, but clearly we have it in us to actually go out and attack when we're like, because clearly we're able to score. We're 2-0 down or 2-1 down, and we're able to come back and draw or win or just make it a close game. And we don't from the get-go. We have to do something immediately. So personally, my prediction, I'm going to go 1-1. I think it's going to be a pretty low quality game overall. I don't have much hope for a win, but I think it really 7 versus 8. It can go any direction. Liushan, what do you think?
Honestly, it's the SPL. Let's be honest.
Yeah.
It's going to be a high scoring game, which is why I feel like, although our attack has been a bit, suspect, like our entire team, perhaps we do need to upgrade the defense a bit more. Because we're just always so high scoring in the SPL, so we prevent that.
I think it was LCS that beat, was it Hogan 8-2 a few weeks ago?
Yeah.
That was insane.
And we changed our goalkeeper midway through the season, so there isn't obviously a lot of trust.
Oh yeah,
in the defense.
I'll just say on Instagram, the game cover from the Tanjong Pagar Instagram page was Fasha Eskandar. It wasn't Kenji Rashidi, so I think that means we'll have Fasha starting.
Even next season, I believe so. But
that would be good.
Obviously, if we can upgrade anywhere in defense, I think we should. And obviously, my prediction then is 3-3.
3-3.
Yeah, I think we can score. We have the play. We have Blake.
I think Brunei also holds in the defense as well.
Yeah,
So.
yeah, Blake. We have obviously 5 at the back is to counteract a lot of attacks because there's still really high scoring.
But you know what? We don't use our 5 at the back wisely. I think the first game of the season, me and Ollie were there, and I don't think they fixed this issue that well.
Yeah.
All 3 of the goals that they came was from the right back side, and I'm pretty sure the exact same thing could have happened on the left if they could catch us out off guard or something. Our wing backs, they go up and they stay back there, and there's a huge hole in defense, and they never fill it back. And it's like we're using it the 5-3-2 formation very ineffectively, I think.
Yeah, honestly, the defense again. I think this is like a league-wide issue is that no one has that good of a defense.
We have to be more balanced. I mean, I think we're just overall not that great.
Yeah, we're overall not that great, but we can see teams like Lion City Sailors.
They have the money.
Where they have Lestien.
Yeah.
And then it's like they scored all these goals and they have a great attack, as you can see. And they conceded 2 to us that game still.
Yeah.
So it's like a league-wide issue that there's a defense issue. So I
think it's more of organization, to be fully honest.
Maybe, yeah. But so we need to build on from the defense again. As you said, we are lower than a point per game.
Yeah.
A draw is a point. Right, that's what we strive for, and any goals. Again, if we have an attack that can score those 2 goals, 3 goals, and we can, and we did against Lion City Sailors. We scored 2. We scored a bunch
Don't
of.
forget we lost 7-1 at home.
And we scored 1. That's kind of the thing.
All right, but
and if we have 0 goals conceded every time, then we're league challengers almost.
Realistically, we're not in a position to be talking about the league.
If we get all these good defenders, I think we can build on.
Yeah, but
just personally.
Yeah, I think that's still quite a big jump overall. But it's quite unfortunate to think though that a draw is an above average feat for us for this season. Because if we're lower than a point per game, and quite significantly as well, how much I think you look at the stats, we'll show it on the screen. We're really a draw is a good result for us. Against 7, we need to get a win, honestly.
Yeah, we do.
We need. I can care less about this result this week. It's an experimental. The season's over.
I want to see something new. I just want to see
it's 7 for 8. We get a little bit more prize money, and I would like to have a little bit more prize money, obviously, so we can get a better defense. But what we need to focus on is that squad together for next season, and who's in, who's out. Again, confidence in the squad. Don't, there's a good goalkeeper, and we need to make sure he maintains his form. And
You know what I worry about though? I don't think the talent pool here in Singapore is that great. We have to look at international talents, but at the same time, who are we gonna replace? We have to replace Sugic or Mudrizio or someone, because I was at the national team friendly against Chinese Taipei or Taiwan on Tuesday, right? It was a 3-1 win. There was nothing spectacular. There was a few good attacking plays, but really it was really unorganized, and that's our national team or the national team. So I don't know who are we gonna realistically get. We have to look into that. We have to look into Malaysia. We have to look into Thailand, and we have to convince those young talents to come here to Singapore and play for us, and hope that our project builds. And we have to get rid of one of our current international players as well due to the international cap.
It's gonna be quite impossible to get the young player pool.
Yeah, we need good scouting though. We can go to the
you have
lower
to convince them as well.
But we go to the lower league and say, okay, you're a semi-pro. Come to us. You have a chance of playing, AFC Champions League or something. Help us rebuild, and you're going to be getting better wages than what you're getting here in the third division in Thailand.
It's stats, but also, it's no surprise that I think Albrecht's won the league. Well, they're still
all their players are from Japan.
Yeah, all their players are from Japan. That's kind of the thing. So, and then if you think about the best player, it'll be Lestini, who is Lestien.
Yeah.
Who is French.
French,
yeah, French. So.
Or you might be Belgian. I don't know.
It is possible, and I would like to see maybe again. I don't want if you say just poach international. Maybe there is talent pool to be discovered anywhere. I believe.
Of course.
And then
get paid for it.
So I guess again, the S League is in charge of developing a strong football culture in this current nation.
Well, there's a big football culture. There's not a big football league culture. Everyone's looking at the Premier League, La Liga, Serie A. People laugh on the Singapore Premier League, and that's because the standard is so low. And the reason, to be frank, is because of us and teams like us.
Yeah, I think you've just kind of explained it very well. I mean, what you said was absolutely right. We have a very weak defense, and even though we go very defensive, that kind of says something about our defenders. Usually, sometimes we play 5 at the back.
We always play 5 at the back.
And it never seems to work. We've conceded over 50 goals this season.
Yeah, and then as soon as we stop playing 5 at the back and maybe put 3 at the back and actually attack, and we actually score, so clearly we can do it. But Jelani is too stubborn to change
that's the kind of thing. There's pretty much no plan B whatsoever under Hasjailani.
If we do not see a plan B tomorrow, which is when the game is, we'll probably post it on the day, this video on the day, then we need to see something new. If we see the exact same thing, we have nothing to lose except the game. We need to see something new.
Yeah, we need to see something. Obviously, it's not up to us to decide.
Of course not.
We're not.
It's up to us to boo though.
We're just fans to support.
We know what he does that doesn't work. We need him to do something that does work that we don't know.
Even if it doesn't work, it needs to. It needs to not work less.
Not work less.
We need improvement.
Improvement is because I don't know if you remember. There's this run of games where we all agreed that we played kind of okay, but we lost.
Yeah,
right?
yeah, that's true.
And I don't like that because
it just
at the end of the day, you rather have 1% possession and then win the game.
Yeah, but I mean, we could play counter-attacking football, but I don't think we have the expertise for that, and I don't think we will in the next few years, realistically, unless we have a homegrown talent. We do have some players that growing through our academy. I'm looking at the academy results that keep popping up on my phone. We're winning almost all of them. That could be good in the future, but at the moment, in the short term, next season, I don't think it's going to be much better unless we can have a good transfer window.
I mean, speaking of transfer window, do you think that we should focus, what area do you think that we should focus in the transfer window? I'm saying defense.
100% defense. I think we do need a few more. We do need a bit of an upgrade up front as well, though, because maybe if we had an extra few stronger quality strikers, that could mean maybe we could get goals earlier in games, and that might help us win more and get more points as a result.
I mean, ideally, we want to improve the entire squad because none of the positions are particularly strong. I'd go for better defensive midfielders that can bring the ball from the defense into the attack to create more chances and then also help out with defense better. So I'll go for the DM position.
We had Sukesh, didn't we?
He's had a rough, tough season. Honestly, he is not impressed me this season.
I mean, he's held on to the ball, and he has some abilities that are
He does,
admirable.
but not enough. We
Not
need
enough.
to look into it. We need to look into it.
We can look into individual players,
Yeah.
and I feel like first of all, we can't achieve any, I don't want we need big improvement. If there is a project, we need to see like the symptoms of the project, like where we have something that can be improved.
Yeah.
You know, but we don't have something that can be improved right now because it just seems that we're at like a dead end and there's like no change, and we're just playing like the same people every time because not because there isn't anyone better than them really, and they're not like better than like the opponents we're playing most of the time, and there's nothing there to be like, oh, maybe if Sukesh does this and this, we can win the game. No, there isn't any.
We have no star on our team.
Yeah.
That's the thing. I think probably Blake is our best player, but
Yeah.
even him, he can't do anything much alone, and he's still not exceptional.
Yeah.
Now let's go. I just want to go back into the game. What weaknesses can we target of Brunei based on what you've seen to go ahead and win this game? So hopefully Brunei, they don't have like an extra 2 or 3 or even 4 men because of like the extra referees like they did last time. But we never know.
No, I'm just saying because the weakness is that Brunei has space at the back to be exploited, and that's how we scored against last time. But the squad quality honestly is so low that I'll just say like their biggest weakness right now is probably just homesickness.
I mean, it's overall pretty bad versus overall pretty bad. I think Brunei have a few good, alright players. Of course, they won the SPL a few years ago. I don't know how many. They won it with Blake Mercutio, so he knows what it's like to win. He's gonna need to.
We definitely need to do like a keep or stay or like leave in our like squad right now because obviously Blake, we have to keep Blake, we have to keep Sukesh, and I don't know. Personally, I feel like the game doesn't affect much, and we need the like we keep saying players, and then like organization. And obviously, like you said, the referee not necessarily being onside, but having a fair game.
Yeah.
And and then do you have any other points?
So there's only so much the players can do and the managers can do. We have limited resources, but do you think potentially the fans can do something? First of all, by showing passion, creating the atmosphere in the crowd, because we have some pretty poor atmospheres. I think sometimes we're able to produce something good, but then usually we have low attendances and we have not a great culture overall of the club because not many people want to watch our team doing so badly. So do you think we need to do something to improve that?
Sometimes I feel like we need some passion, we need some aggression, we need some structure in this football club.
Yeah.
And
Well said. Ollie, do you think an improved atmosphere, however, will actually help our club progress, especially through this last game? We need to show our support to the players because I don't think. They don't have any passion.
I think it's more important for like the first game too.
Of course.
Next season, obviously.
The first game happened already, so
Yeah.
I think.
You see, I think there's every chance, if we have like a very high home attendance on the final day of the season, if we win, we'll finish 7th. We won't be second last, which is pretty much the only thing we're really competing for at this point. Maybe that could help, like if we make some big chants, some very loud chants throughout, maybe the players will clearly hear that our support for them. I think, but I do go back to the game a few months ago against Hogang at the Jurong East Stadium, and we lost that 3-1. That was like our highest attendance, by a clear mile. And I remember saying at that time, at the end of that, our players looked more up for the game than the players actually
No,
were.
the fans like more up for the game than the.
Yes, that's exactly what
Yeah.
I meant. Sorry about
Yeah.
that.
Honestly, I mean, we tried to bring drums the other day to this, like, the stadium.
I didn't know how to get
It got rejected. Again, we need the atmosphere.
Yeah.
So, TPU, if you're watching, please allow us to bring our drums.
Yeah, or the Jaguar Force, if you're watching this, please bring your drums as well. And unless you can't, then that's forgivable.
Yeah, the club needs to allow these things more frequently.
Yeah.
Honestly, and perhaps again I'm okay with perhaps I don't want to increase it, but if it means a ticket, would you take a ticket price increase to potentially help TPU buy ads or something, perhaps to advertise the
I mean, I think personally yes, but I don't know if most people are willing to.
I'd say maybe a $2 increase.
Oh yeah, $2 increase, but
yeah.
at the same time, the tickets aren't the most expensive in the Singapore Premier League. Sometimes they're more expensive. I think Tampines has free tickets at home.
Ooh.
So,
Yeah.
but
Crazy.
yeah, and it's one thing to talk about good atmosphere, but we have to make sure the atmosphere doesn't become toxic during this game or the Singapore Cup, because if we have fans singing Jailani out, which we've had, remember Jailani Please Stand Up, that chant happened I think against, was it Young Lions, and we were 3-1 down before halftime.
I mean, that's also due to, I feel
Yeah.
like Jailani needs to do more on a touchline.
He does. He's
Exactly,
always sitting
yeah.
down. He's not yelling at the players. He's not getting the message
It
across.
doesn't
yet.
quite motivate them. If
I
that's
think-
the thing.
We don't know what's happening in the
Again-
dressing room, but
Again, I see the opposition manager. I keep seeing yelling instructions,
yeah.
and then Jailani just sitting with the bench. It's he's benched
Yeah.
with the players.
And even whoever our captain is at the time, because our captain's always getting subbed on and subbed off, injured or whatever, Hamza or something, Shakir Hamza, they're not that loud either. I mean, I don't know. I can't really credit how loud they are really overall, but just Jailani, he needs to step in. You can't put everything on the players when the players have clear limitations, so it's up to the manager to raise them to the next level.
That's what they're for, is at the end of the day.
Yeah, of course.
I think another thing we say, again, the season's about to be over. Who would be your player of the season? This dreadful season, honestly.
Yeah, I'm gonna have to go Blake, but
Yeah, Blake.
Yeah, I'd have to say Blake. I think despite the number of goals we've conceded and a good, all right number of goals that we've actually scored, I think he's by far and away our most creative player this season.
yeah.
I think he's really he's one of the only players this season who I see has put in pretty much 110% into pretty much every minute he's played.
Yeah,
and that's what I appreciate.
He has a
from him.
passion, even if it's not creating anything. It's just technical limitations. You can't expect these players to be Premier League quality or English Premier League quality, but yeah, I mean, there's some honorable mentions, I guess. I guess we had Roslan, we had Karl Amri, we had Fasha Askandar. They've all been pretty good throughout the season. We just need better overall, because overall our average is subpar completely.
What about in the SPL? This is completely off.
Yeah, let's get in.
That's the end. Yeah.
Yeah, I think it has to be
I think
him.
Boris is up there though.
Oh, Kopitovic, yeah, but I think you'd be deluded not to put Lesbian, at least in the top 3. But he's had a great season,
Yeah, okay.
even without winning the league, or maybe someone from Albrecht. To be honest, I haven't paid much attention to them. I don't care about the top of the league because we're so far from them.
We need to be
This league
closer,
has
man.
9 teams, and we're at the bottom. Yeah,
We're eighth. Oh man.
better than Chelsea last season.
It's actually crazy to think that if we don't win this game against Brunei, if Young Lions weren't part of this league, or if Young Lions weren't this bad, we'd possibly be in a battle for finishing rock bottom of the SPL this season.
Imagine if this league had relegation. We would have been in the S League 2 in 2020, really.
Oh, 100%, yeah.
We had no wins that
But
season.
I think we're really declining as a team in terms of standards, rapidly these last few years.
And last
That's
season we
sad
could
to
have had
think.
last season we could have had a much better finish, but we fell off towards the end as well. And imagine if we finished higher, got an Asia a cup finish or something. We would have been much better coming to this season. There would have been more hope, and there would have been more players attracted to our club. But finishing this season, no one's gonna want to come to us.
No.
Finishing second last in a league with a country, a population of 6 million. It's not at all.
This league can attract players. We've seen Lestien come here.
Yeah.
We've seen Boris come here. All the Japanese reserve team players I don't really count because that's kind of like
they're dragged over.
They're dragged over here as long as the Brunei people. It's almost like what's the one?
Yeah.
And then so we can. And again, I don't know if investment into the club is like exactly the answer. We're never going to out compete. So I think more money to scouting.
Yeah.
Instead of maybe transfer fees, rather.
Yeah.
Yeah, and that's how I would go about like fixing the club.
You know what I do? I think a short-term solution to first be in the position to attract more players is to sign older players of the bigger SPL clubs or even some of the later clubs, but mainly SPL clubs, so they can finish off their careers on a high with Tanjong Pagar, get some good results. Maybe we'll finish not on a high, but we'll finish mid-table with like some better older players, and then once they retire, I think we did that with David Bennett, but I guess his end of the season wasn't as good as I guess we were expecting. He played with us in like 2001 or 1999 even. Yeah, if we can get something like that, and then hopefully it actually pays off, because we know old players can do it in this league. We have Kyler Emery. He's been good. He's been a good super sub for us this season. He's 38. We celebrated his birthday like a few months ago. That was good.
Yeah, happy birthday. And I honestly, I think what needs to be said has been said.
Yeah.
But yeah, do you have any other questions?
I think we just have to go out there and give it our all. The fans need to give it their all as well. Please show up to the game. Every fan, even if you're a neutral, just help us fill up the crowd. It gives the club money, I guess. Thank you for watching Tanjong Pagar United Fan TV. Make sure to like and subscribe. Also share this video so we can spread the message of support in the SPL. Thanks for watching. From me, Liushan, and Ollie. We'll see you in the next video.
Alright.
See ya.